Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Happy Good Friday for a lot of people. We're taking a live look outside right now over downtown Denver, dark and early, getting ready for a beautiful Easter weekend. Thanks so much for being with us, everyone. Jordan here alongside Corey, Brianna, and Ed.
TGIF, right? It has been a week, right? What's your saying?
What a year this week has been.
Truly, yes. Right. But we're looking forward to the weekend, and Easter Sunday is looking pretty nice.
Yeah. You know, we've been fighting with this system because first it looked like it was speeding up, then it was slowing down. Now it's become a close low, which means it'll slow down a bit. I think we see sunshine on your Easter Sunday.
I mean, amazing. No soggy eggs.
Right. And not until after dark, probably, we see the showers move in. But that's not all that bad. Let's take a look at our forecast right now. Look what we have, 38 degrees, so it's a very mild morning. 54 in Colorado Springs, and we're 48 over there in Grand Junction. Ray coming in at 36 degrees this morning. So 58 degrees. We'll see mostly cloudy skies, cooler than yesterday's 67, with that chance of afternoon showers. That's the first wave of moisture that we will see. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, breezy, and 65. Then for Sunday, I'm going with sunny skies and 67 degrees. And then we'll go for Monday. That's when the next system comes our way. 50% chance for rain and snow and colder, only in the 40s. 57 on your Tuesday. And by Wednesday, we could be pushing 70 degrees.
Ed, thank you so much. Right now, we're taking a live look from our CDOT cameras, I-270 in Vasquez. We've been mentioning this roadwork construction project happening every single morning. You can see crews are still on scene. The right lane is partially blocked, not causing any major backups this morning. So I do want to switch things over to our main graphics, kind of show you where that's happening. Again, this is westbound I-270 in Vasquez. The right shoulder is blocked off. If you are in that area, in the Commerce City area, westbound 76, it's going to be an 11-minute drive, 66 miles per hour. Overall, a lot of green on your screen. We love to see this, especially on a Friday morning. So here are your drive times before you head out the door. Downtown to DTC, both directions, it's going to be a 14 to 15-minute drive.
Brianna, thank you. Breaking news this morning from Boulder. CU Boulder police are looking for a burglary suspect that triggered a shelter-in-place on the west end of campus. That shelter-in-place was lifted just before 4:30 this morning. Campus police were asking people to avoid the area of 10th and Pleasant Street on the Hill, a few blocks west of Broadway. They say an armed burglary happened off campus, but near enough to trigger that shelter-in-place. So far, police haven't made any arrests. What information they do have about the suspect is that it's a man. They say he was wearing a gray hoodie and a colorful hat and was carrying 3 backpacks. If you have any information, give police a call. In the meantime, officers say to keep using caution in the area of 10th and Pleasant.
Also breaking this morning, Denver police are looking for the driver in a hit and run that left one person seriously hurt. This happened early this morning in the area of Spear and Colfax. Details are pretty limited, but we know it involved a car and a scooter. One person was taken to the hospital. Anyone with information on this crash is asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 720-913-7867. New this morning, we have a Republican nominee to run in CD4 special election to replace Congressman Ken Bach for the rest of his unfinished term. It is the first time this process has happened in Colorado since 1983.
A panel of Colorado Republicans selected former mayor of Parker, Greg Lopez, as the candidate. The scramble to fill Bach's seat comes after he announced he wouldn't run for re-election last year. This could all lead up to a very interesting special election in June. Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is trying to win that primary. She did not run in last night's special election. She wasn't likely to get the party's nomination, and if she won the seat, she'd have to vacate her current seat in Congress, where the Republican House majority is just too thin. Now Boebert has to convince voters to support her in the primary. On the same day, they'll vote for Lopez to run in the vacancy. This potentially gives him a huge advantage, appearing on the ballot twice in June. Lopez's opponents are calling this placeholder candidacy dangerous.
Well, I think we all have our own opinion, as to what dangerous is. I think the people spoke, and I'm going to go there and do the best job that I can and represent this state and this district to the best of my ability. I wouldn't consider myself a placeholder candidate. I'm more of a strategic partner, right? Trying to make sure that we have a conservative voice there for the next 6 months.
Voters are going to have some real fun on special election day. 1 ballot, 2 races for this same district. The primary election will be top of the ballot. This vacancy election will be at the very bottom.
Right now, the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office is trying to identify 7 people wanted in connection with 2 burglaries. The first happened February 27th at a home off South Rifle Street. The Sheriff's Office says that these 3 men and 1 woman smashed a sliding glass door, then took $6,000 worth of jewelry from inside. Surveillance video captured these images of the group outside the home. They left in a newer model silver Nissan Altima. The second burglary happened March 23rd at an apartment off South Havana Street. The Sheriff's Office says that these 3 men pried the front door open, then stole a large amount of cash, a designer handbag, jewelry, and a computer. In all, the stolen items are worth more than $112,000. And if you recognize anyone from either of these burglaries, you are asked to call the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office.
The EPA has set a new date to demolish the Return to Nature funeral home in Penrose. Several attempts to take down the building where nearly 200 bodies were found have fallen through in recent months. According to their website, crews and contractors will go to the site on April 15th to get the equipment and materials ready for demolition. The work is scheduled to start the next day, April 16th, if the weather permits.
The search has ended for a teenager from Colorado Springs who was last seen camping in Crowley County. The Crowley County coroner says that after searching throughout the night, crews found the boy's body in Lake Henry, just northeast of Ordway. Right now, it appears that the teen drowned. An autopsy will reveal if anything else led to his death. New this morning, federal dollars are now flowing into Maryland for the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The government is expediting a $60 million payment. Officials say that the federal dollars are for initial efforts like removing debris and laying the groundwork for reconstruction. Rebuilding will likely cost hundreds of millions of dollars. President Joe Biden vows the federal government will pay it all. Biden can draw funds from the Federal Highway Administration and the recent infrastructure law. In a news conference, Maryland Governor Wes Moore gave updates on some of the efforts underway.
First, we need to continue to focus on recovery because it is our obligation to bring a sense of closure to these families. The second, we need to clear the channel and open vessel traffic to the port because the health of the Maryland economy and the national economy depends on it. Third, we need to take care of all the people who have been affected by this crisis.
Experts say that insurance companies will be on the hook for more than $1 billion. They predict years of litigation involving maritime law older than the Titanic.
Today marks 1 year since Wall Street journalist Evan Gershkovich was detained in Russia. Gershkovich was arrested in Russia while on a reporting trip. Russia's main security service accuses him of trying to get state secrets, a charge he and his employer denied. To honor the detained journalist today, the paper plans to intentionally leave a section of its front page blank to represent the missing work from him. The journal says it also plans on printing dispatches on Gershkovich and put a spotlight on the destructive consequences of authoritarian regimes.
Fewer people applied to Harvard this year. The school said that undergraduate applications dropped 5% from a year ago. Harvard reported more than 54,000 applications for the class of 2028. That is the lowest in 4 years. Harvard found itself in a public relations crisis last fall as its response to an anti-Israel letter was strongly criticized by some alumni and politicians. The school has also been accused of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. The city of Aurora is buying up thousands of acres of farmland in southeast Colorado. Now, this is part of a deal diverting more than 7 billion gallons of water out of the Arkansas River each year.
Right, but instead of leaving the land to dry out while Aurora uses all the water, they've come up with a timeshare system to keep farming the land whenever possible. Aurora's about to close on an $80 million deal to buy a 4,800-acre farm in Otero County, southeast of Pueblo. Aurora will only be able to tap the water rights associated with that property up to 3 years of every decade, and they can use more than 2 billion gallons each time. But the other 7 years, the land will be used to grow alfalfa and other crops. Aurora will use some of the profits from the farm to recover the cost of the land purchase. Aurora Water calls it a win-win.
This deal allows us to access interruptible water supply, which is significantly important to meeting our water needs, and it allows us to continue to be a really good partner with the agricultural community, and specifically the agricultural community in the Arkansas Basin.
During the years Aurora is using the water, the farm won't come to a complete standstill. The landowners will still employ some farm workers to maintain the land.